Good morning and welcome to the Kim B. Davis Show. We are still practicing social distancing and via remote today we have the amazing and the awesome relationship coach and chef, Leslie Griffin. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Kimberly. How are you?
I'm great. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. It's good to be here.
Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for joining us this morning. And I know that we are still in the midst of the quarantine and it feels like we've been here for a very long time.
Yes.
But you always talk about healthy eating and how we can take care of ourselves at home. So today, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about eating healthy and taking care of ourselves while we're at home. Not making it complicated, not having to order a bunch of stuff, but what are some things that we can do in terms of food, in terms of fueling our bodies that we should be eating right now that you would recommend?
That's such a great question. And, like you just said, we are in some, everybody's saying unprecedented, but I like to use the term undefining, because nothing is really definitive right now. And we really don't know, from one to the next. But, in terms of eating, we just have to be very cognizant of what we bring into the house. So this is going to work two ways. So if you're a single person, you kind of have more, control of bringing just totally healthy foods into your house. If you're married and you have children, well, they're at home all day right now, so you can't just feed off of, carrot sticks and celery sticks and black beans. So you have to have a little more, give with that. But it really just starts with making a choice and being conscientious to remain healthy. And then, like I said, it matters, when you go to the grocery store, have a list, that's picked out of what you all want to eat. If you're a family, some healthy options that I know work well for families are like stir fries with lots of healthy lean protein and vegetables. And you can do it like a taco night or a stir fried night or something like that. Or you can have it where the whole entire family joins in and maybe you all learn how to cook a particular dish. But just overall, you want to make sure that you're getting your healthy lean proteins. You want to make sure that your body needs whole foods. So let me back up a little bit. Our body needs whole foods. And what are whole foods? Whole foods are foods that have not gone through a refinement process. So a whole food would be a spinach. A whole food could be a tomato. A whole food could be a banana, an orange, an apple. It could be it can be dandelion root, anything that hasn't gone through a refinement process. So our bodies definitely need whole foods. Our bodies need minerals, and our body needs vitamins. And contrary to popular belief, our body also needs healthy fats. So we don't have to we don't have to deny ourselves fats. The fats just need to be healthy. And I'll get into what some of those healthy fats are. And our body also needs water. Our bodies need vitamin D, which we can also get from the sunlight. So maybe open up your windows or just take a quick walk outside and be safe when you're doing it. And our bodies also need meditation and rest. And we need to be flexible. So our bodies need movement and we have to stretch. So going back to the foods, and when you're going grocery shopping, just be very mindful of what you're bringing into the house. Again, you don't have to become a vegetarian or vegan. You don't have to eat like a rabbit, but if you stick within those subject matters that I just listed, the whole foods, the healthy fats, the vitamins, the minerals, in the water, you can plan and you can build your meals from there.
Wow, that's awesome. So I heard you say a few things, but if I'm a mom and I have kids, but
Yes.
I have two boys who are growing and they
eat like men probably.
They do. And so I always have to go to the store.
Yes.
And so my struggle is, as a mom, okay, I'm trying to balance it being fun and flavorful, but also being healthy. So you said apples and bananas. What are some other staples that you would tell parents that they should pick up for their families?
Outside of the fruits that you can cut up and the veggies, I would also, like you said, you want to keep it fun. So you can do like the popcorn. Popcorn is good. You can do whole almonds, though that that have been refined and have a little salt on them. You can do some honey, honey roasted peanuts. Let's see. You can do chips that are. I use a brand when I wanted something crunchy and something salty. I buy a brand that's called Cape Cod, and they're kettle chips. So kettle chips they have 40% less fat and 30% less calories. So you want to make sure that you're not depriving yourselves, because your children are going to be like, whoa, mom, what are you doing? I need some nourishment. So the popcorn, the nuts, the healthy chips. And then even if they want, sweet tooth. So like you're going into your brownies and different things like that, just make sure those items are vegan and as less processed, as they can be. I generally go to Trader Joe's for my sweet treats, because I know that those are vegan products and they still just have the right amount of sweetness, but they're still, in that healthy realm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so that gives me some good tips. Also lets me know I'm doing some things right. I do have almonds. We do have kettle chips. So yay, that's a win for me. I've been listening to you, and we do have fruits and veggies. Now, you mentioned healthy fats. What are healthy fats?
So healthy fats are, you can get your healthy fats from olive oils. So if you eat olives, that's a healthy fat. Another healthy fat is grapeseed oil. And you can also, do your stir fry. You can do you can do your stir fry in olive oil and grapeseed oil. So those two are healthy fats. You can also cook in almond oil. There's a safflower oil that's also a healthy fat. Any fat that is not going, when it sits, it's not going to just clog and emulsify. That's a healthy fat. But the two main staples that I live by in terms of my oils that I use to do my stir fries in and cook with are olive oil and grapeseed oil. And I get those unrefined, and I usually get them in a bottle, in a very dark bottle, because it holds its nutrients better. And another healthy fat, I almost forgot, coconut oil. It's a very healthy fat to cook in. Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. See, those are things. I use grapeseed oil and coconut oil for my skin. So we're going to talk about that in a minute.
They're great for the skin.
I didn't know you could cook with it and that it was just as good. Okay. See, I'm learning something new today. Awesome.
Yes, you can.
Awesome. Okay. So now switching gears a little bit, because we're talking about skin. So during the quarantine and this pandemic, we have been told to wash our hands. So everybody's washing their hands, and everybody said the same thing. Look here, I'm not going to be ashy because my mama, my daddy, my grandma, somebody going to talk about me. And so everybody that I know, we've all said, well, what do we do? Because it seems like you keep your hands in water so much that your hands are taking a beating. And so I know you always post about, because it's getting warm. And so we're getting our feet ready for the summer. When we're able to go out. Right. When we're able to go out safely, even if it's only one or two of us. But still, we want to be able to take care of ourselves. We don't want to let ourselves go during this time. What are some things that you recommend? And you just talked about grapeseed oil and coconut oil.
Grapeseed oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, almond oil. Another oil that is great, those oils are also great for cooking and for the skin. Another oil that I want to add to the skincare line is jojoba oil. And I didn't bring it out, but I did bring some of my staples out that I want to show people that I use for my skin. I don't know if you can see this, but that's this is a virgin unrefined coconut oil by Shea Moisture. And I wore this one shoulder top, just so that you can see the glow, on my skin. As soon as I get out the shower, I just dry, I don't dry all the way off because I want to leave a little moisture in my skin. And I just slather this on my skin and I just let it soak in. I let it soak in. And then I line my bed with, you know, with the towel if I go and lay down immediately so that my sheets are messed up. But this, again, is 100% extra virgin coconut oil by Shea Moisture. I live by it. This is from their skincare line. And again, you can cook with coconut oil. Okay. And I also use, you all are gonna laugh at me, but that's okay. This is my Family Dollar staple go-to. Okay, the Coach Be Up and Family Dollar. Trying to save $1. This lotion has always been a holy grail for me. My grandmother used this lotion, and it has aloe vera in it. Aloe vera is great for the skin. It helps with dryness. It helps if you have sunburns. It helps with rosacea. If you have a mild eczema, this will calm it. It just eases, itching. So I love it. It's fruit of the earth. This was $2 on Amazon, or it's $3 at Family Dollar. Can you all see that?
Yes.
I love this. This is my hand lotion. After I wash my hands, I always slather this on. This is not greasy. It's not slippery. So you'll still, if you're working from home, you'll still be able to write. You'll still be able to grab your papers and different things like that and lift things without dropping them.
Fantastic.
Fruit of the earth. Okay. And then let me just back up a little bit. The one major nutrient that our skin needs to be healthy outside of washing and outside of all these externals is water, rest, sweat, and exercise. Okay. So, you know, one of my favorite subjects is sex. So if the single, now why don't single people always like to talk about sex? So the married people, if you want gray skin, get it in. Sweat. Come on. Get it in. Married people. I want to make that plain, or, you know, whoever, you do what you do, but get it in. Our body needs to move. Our body needs sweat, and we need water, and we need green vegetables. Okay. I always like to, going back to eating a little bit, make sure your plate is colorful. You should have green, you should have orange, you should have red, you should have yellow on your plate. Okay, your green, your chlorophylls, those are where all your vitamins and minerals and nutrients are coming from. Make sure you get that in. Back to skincare for my face. I'll move this light down so that you all can, now you can still see my skin. This is me. This is unrefined. Now I'm gonna put the light back on just for camera purposes. But I use the Mary Kay Time-Wise system. I've been using Mary Kay for 25 years. It works for me. This is their moisturizer for oily to combination skin. And I make sure that I wash my face twice a day. I drink lots and lots of alkaline water. If you can't afford to buy water that's already alkaline, you can just use your water out the tap, boil it, drop some lemons in there, some cucumbers, and some mint, and you will have your alkaline water. So for healthy skin, you need water, you need rest, you need sweat, you need to move your body. I also use for my elbows and different things like that. I have a cream. I just want to shout out my friend Nedra Juliet from Body Source. I use her Journey cream for my feet. And then, so I'm out of that cream right now. So I use Burt's Bees.
Okay.
This is a dry skin, rich moisture with cocoa butter. You know, cocoa butter, it's been a staples. If you get a burn, you can put some cocoa butter on there, and it acts as, you know, it acts as healing. But I want to say, great skin comes from within. Great skin is all about what you eat. I do not touch my face with this part of my hands because I'm constantly touching surfaces. So my hands never touch my face. Grace, I want to reiterate it. Great skin comes from within. It's all about what you eat, and it's about what you drink, and it's about the amount of restorative rest that you get. You want to stay away from unhealthy fats, refined foods, a lot of salt, which I can be guilty of on the salt. And you want to stay away from sugars. That is terrible on the skin. terrible on the skin. So what are your processed foods that are not good for the skins? Donuts, cakes, pies, McDonald's fries, but within reason. Within reason. So these were my staples. My Mary Kay for my face, extra virgin olive oil. I put it all over my body. This just actually seals the moisture in. Fruit of the earth, aloe vera for my hands. This stuff is a miracle for me. And then outside of my Journey Cream by Nedra and Body Source, I use the Burt's Bees. So those are my, skincare tips. For my lips and different things, the little color that you see is pretty much all MAC.
Okay.
Yep.
So those are some great skincare tips. But before we go on our break, I wanted to ask you, how much water should a person drink each day? Because I know that's a big argument. People say 8 to 10 glasses, and then people say, well, does it depend on your weight or your lifestyle?
And that's a very great question. And I want to preface my answer by saying I'm not a medical doctor.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you all what I do. I drink half my body weight.
Okay.
In alkaline water. And for me, that ends up being 6 to 8 glasses per day.
Okay.
So if they're in the range of 8 to 10 glasses per day, that's someone who's a religious water drinker. I mean, they drink the water. A lot of people say that it's very plain, it's very bland. So if you could just even start with doing the 2 to 4 glasses per day. And if you just don't like the plain taste of the water, add some fruit to it to infuse it. I use strawberries, I use oranges, I use blueberries, I put raspberries, I throw mint leaves in there, cucumbers, and the best people for great skin, even for women, that helps with our lady flora down there. Pineapples. Dump those pineapples in your water. You still have to wash, you still have to take care of her, especially if you're sexually active and things like that. But get as much pineapple as you can. Pineapple is very enzymatic, which means it has a lot of enzymes, which it just better permeates within the body. So it just kind of acts as an astringent in the body. So dump those pineapples in your water, whole pineapples. The canned pineapples have a lot of sugar. So again, you want to make sure that you're getting your whole fruit. So definitely drink your water. 6 to 8 glasses a day is great. 8 to 10 is phenomenal if you're just starting. 2 to 4, and work your way up and just be consistent. Everything we do is a choice.
That's right.
It's mindset. It's definitely, mindset. And I'm going to tell you all, once you really start seeing the results and you really start to see your life evolve and your body evolve, you're going to love it. And it's going to become second nature for you. It's going to become like breathing.
That's awesome, Leslie. Thank you so much. Okay, we have to take a break, and we're going to come right back and continue getting your beauty secrets. And next, we're going to talk about exercise. But we'll be right back. You're watching the Kim B. Davis Show. Welcome back to the Kim B. Davis Show. We are live via remote, talking with relationship coach and chef Leslie Griffin. So Leslie, you were just filling us in on beauty secrets about things that we could use at our home.
Yes.
Quick, we didn't talk about feet. So what are some things that you would recommend to people about keeping their feet together? Because that's a challenge for some people.
Yes, and it is, and I just recommend having the right tools at home. So when you shower, I have a pumice stone. And I'm sorry I didn't bring it to demonstrate it, but I have a pumice stone, and I just, I put my feet on a towel, and I just, kind of just slough that dead skin off. And then I get in the shower, and I wash the bottom of my feet, people, because I know there was some discrepancy about when you get in the shower, should you wash the bottom of your feet? Yes, you should wash the bottom of your feet. And after I get out of the shower, and I talked about this earlier, outside of my Journey Cream from Nedra, Juliet, and Body Source, I use coconut oil. I literally slather it on my feet like I do my hair conditioner, and I put my socks on. And that holds the moisture. and my feet remain like smooth like a baby's bottom.
Awesome. Do you use
Coconut oil
in your hair?
I use coconut oil in my hair. I use olive oil in my hair, or jojoba oil. My staple, however, is coconut oil. I don't know if you can see the waves in the curls, but coconut oil is my staple, and I use Shea Moisture.
Very good.
I don't know if you all can see that. So for the feet, if you have some type of rich body butter with a mango butter and a shea butter and a coconut oil, slather it on, and put your socks on. Put your socks on overnight, maybe twice a week, because it's kind of hard for me to sleep in socks. It can be uncomfortable, but that will get your feet together and keep your skin soft. And it's also going to help your manicurist. When you go back, he or she won't have so much work to do.
Yes. That'll be a good thing. I know a lot of people are waiting to get back to the beauty salon and back to the manicurist and the pedicure and get their pedicures.
Okay, be safe about it. It's really no big deal. You can go online. A lot of manicurists and salon owners are online. They're on Facebook. They're doing the lives. They're telling you how to do these things at home, because we don't want to open up prematurely and then we have a reset. So they're giving you their tips for free, and you can actually buy their products from them. They will help you keep your feet and your skin together at home.
Absolutely. And thank you for saying that, because you're right. We don't want to open up too early, because then we'll be back in this situation again for another several months. Yes. And that would be sad. But I want to switch gears again. Okay. You are an avid runner. Yes. And I always admire runners, but I'm a walker. And so I walk outside all the time. And even during the quarantine, our governor said, you can go outside for exercise, but people still feel like, oh, can I go outside? Is it safe? How are you treating your exercise during this time?
I go out every single morning, and I go out before people come out. So you know that I'm up around 3:45 a.m. and I'm getting ready for my 5 a.m. run. That's what Leslie does. A lot of people can't get up at 5 a.m., but I'm up with the deer and the skunks and the opossums. So we're all running around in my subdivision. And that's just what I do. I still wear a mask, even though it's me, because what people don't understand about the virus is that it can be airborne if there are multiple people in the area. So no one has to cough on you or sneeze on you, but maybe someone who walked ahead of you had just coughed or sneezed and there's droplets in the air and you walk right behind them, that can get onto you. So this is why we need to use the mask, and this is why we need to maintain our distance. So I want to make sure that I interjected that. But I run at 5 a.m. in the morning. I wear my mask. I make sure that, I can breathe through my nose and out of my mouth. In terms of getting started, for running, make sure it's something that you really are passionate about, because running is hard work. I love walking too. So some days, I walk. Walking is actually easier on the joints. To get started in running, you really probably want to go to a site called Running Fit. They have several stores in Michigan. They will help you on a program to get started. They'll measure your feet. They'll tell you the type of running shoes that you need. A lot of people just get up and they start running in regular gym shoes, which you cannot do. You will injure yourself, because your feet needs to be measured for your gait. G-A-I-T, gait. What is a gait? A gait is the way your heel strikes the ground. So you can be pronated or overpronated. And if you're wearing a shoe that doesn't support your gait and the way your heel strikes the ground when you run, your knees can become injured, your hips can become injured, and it's just not a good thing. So start with Running Fit. There are a lot of running groups on Facebook. I'm a member of the Stone Steppers Running Club on Facebook. It's owned by Michael Stone. I've been with them for more than 15 years. It's called the Stone Steppers. We're a Facebook running group. We are staunch marathon runners. Pretty much everyone in that group has run at least 2 full marathons. Our coach has run more than 110 full marathons, more than 10 32-mile races on foot, triathlons, duathlons. We've done it all. So get with people who have done and who are consistently doing what you want to do.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're out, you're saying that you should wear your mask.
You should.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone may have walked in front of you. What would you tell someone who says, I have trouble when I wear my mask because I get too hot, I feel constricted. I know for me, one of the issues that I had early on was my glasses kept fogging up.
Yes.
So I felt like I couldn't see. And so can that become a hindrance to someone who's trying to exercise?
It can become a hindrance because they can just use it as an excuse. Well, I'm going to wait until this entire thing lifts. So you can just do a little bit. The thing with starting to run is that it's not a marathon. I'm sorry, it's not a sprint. It is a marathon. So it's a sport that you actually ease your way into. So when I first started running, I was well over 230 pounds. I couldn't run around the block. Yeah. I got up every single morning. This was probably 15 or 17 years ago. I got up every single morning, and I was living in Detroit at the time, borderline Dearborn, and I went to Fairlane, and I would just walk around the perimeter of the outside of the mall. I did that for 2 weeks straight. I walked. And then that third week, I just started running. So I would run from it was Marshall Fields at the time. I would run from Marshall Fields to JCPenney. And then I would stop, and then I would walk. So if you're finding that you feel restricted with your mask when you're running, maybe just say, I'm going to run 3 or 4 light poles, then I'm going to stop. I'm going to walk 1 light pole or walk 1 block, and then I'm going to start back running again. That's actually called the Gallup method. And a lot of people use that method. You can research it or Google it. They use that method to train for their marathons, and it works. So you can run a little bit and you can walk a little bit. That's for those who are starting.
Wow.
And just with wearing the mask, and it just helps you, collect your breath, relax a little bit, and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you said, walking is great. I do it.
I love it.
I walk for 90 minutes. I try to each and every day. So that averages about 3.5, sometimes 5 miles, depending on how slow I do it. But thank you. And walking is easy on your joints, and you can literally do that anywhere. So I encourage everyone to get out and exercise, move your body, eat healthy. But I want to ask you another question, Leslie. How do you practice mindfulness, staying positive, and at peace while we're in quarantine?
That's an excellent question. I think that's the most that's what everybody needs right now, because we are definitely in, as I said earlier, uncertain times. For me, I read my Bible every day, whether it's a scripture online or whether I actually sit down and go on my den and take time to actually just dig through the scriptures. And I meditate. I stretch a lot. I just want to interject one thing. Maybe people are not able to physically get out and walk and, just move all of their limbs and different things like that. So I want to be mindful for those who may be bound to some circumstances, who may be bound to a chair, or maybe, bound to the bed or on the couch. You move your arms. You can, movement is movement. Get you some cans. These are my lotion bottles. Do whatever you can, make it happen. I take my 2 fingers and I massage my lymph nodes. These are my lymph nodes in here. And your lymph is just a fluid that moves toxins out of the body. Lymph, that's what you call your lymph nodes. And it helps with your immune system. So I'm always massaging my lymph nodes. I have lymphs under here, under my arm. Women, that's why they tell you to massage under your arms and near your breasts and different things like that, because there are lymph nodes right there. And so you're releasing, you know, that lymph to release those toxins out of the body. And when you start drinking your alkaline water and, you know, you're flushing and you're urinating and doing everything else that the body does naturally, you're releasing those toxins. So that's also a part of my, my mindfulness routine. I also try to stay away from social media a lot. I know my green light is always on. Sometimes I forget to log out of social media, but I absolutely have to take a break from all of the news, from all of the reports, from everything that people are saying, from the different things that we're seeing. About 2 weeks ago, every time I opened up my email or my Facebook, or I went online to read the newspaper or something, it was death. It was death, it was death, it was death. And that became very overwhelming for me. Like I really felt like I was in a dark place that I couldn't lift myself from. So I had to just take a break from it, and I had to balance. I had to go in another room of the house. I like a lot of lighting, as you can see. So I've opened my blinds. I'm going to be changing my dining room decor. I like to do what I call as color therapy, because color helps. You know, it brightens your mood. Sometimes I turn on a little light jazz, or I love Run DMC. I love old school hip hop. So I listen to music. I'll grab a book, and of course, you know, I'll do my writing. So I just like to sit in silence sometimes, to find that peace. I'm single. I've never been married, and I don't have children. So yes, that would be easy for me. So how would a married person, you know, such as yourself, with a husband and children, you know, do that? And if you're working, if you're a frontline person, take as many breaks as you can. Have 15 to 30 minutes for yourself where you say, this is my time. I cannot be disturbed right now. That's your time to refuel, because guess what? If you're not right, you're not going to be right for your family. We say it all the time, and we hear it all the time. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't. And a broken vessel with holes in it cannot receive. If someone is pouring into you, it's just going to filter out, because you're so broken and there's so many holes. So take the time for yourself. Be very cognizant of that. And you know, that's a firm boundary. We set so many boundaries, and I'm guilty of this. I have so many set boundaries, I can write a book on it, but I rarely enforce them. A set boundary is very different from an enforced boundary. If you don't enforce it, it's just words. Take the time for yourself. Just sit, just breathe, have a glass of water. If you meditate, you know, with your earbuds in your ears, just listen to light music. You can listen to the word. You can listen to an audiobook. Whatever it is that you feel that you need to just be still, to just be in that moment, you have to do that for yourself.
Thank you so much, Leslie, for sharing your words of wisdom. How can we get in touch with you if we're trying to find you on social media or follow you to learn more about your tips and to hear when your book is coming out?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this time, and it has really boosted my confidence. So I want to thank you for that, because you know that, you know, I struggle with that. So yes, I'm a life coach, and that is one of my struggles. We struggle too. But you can reach, I am on Facebook. That's my main social media page, Leslie J. Griffin /Facebook. I'm also on Instagram as coach_Les, at Life Coach Les on Instagram. And I'm also on Twitter at One Stop Coach. My email address is IGetItRight, IGETITWRITE @yahoo.com. So you can drop me an email. I'm very responsive. You can send me something through Messenger, and I will love to connect with you.
Thank you so much, Leslie. And let me tell you guys, she is the real deal. She is warm and open and always willing to give people advice and support. And she just is a wonderful person. And I'm so thankful that you came on today, Leslie. Thank you so much for sharing all that wonderful information on how we should eat healthy and how we can take care of ourselves at home. And just remember, guys, to stay home and be safe. And remember, and this is the Kim B. Davis Show, and remember, be magnificent.